What? This is it, guys.
We are.
World famous Comedy Store podcast. Rick Ingram is late. That's what happens when you have children. Do you have kids?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we are here with the great Steve Byrne, and I'm very excited about this. You could be a relative of mine. You're Korean and Irish, right?
Korean and
I
Irish.
like it. Yeah. My dad fought in Korea. He was
So either
had a lot of crushes.
I could be a family member or part of the enemy.
True.
Yeah.
True. Or he would write my mom and tell him about these girls, and sometimes he would write it in Japanese. Like his friends would write it in Japanese.
Really?
Yeah, he had a friend that he was in the service with that spoke Japanese, oddly. And so my mother was like, I think it's in Korean. And I'm like, it's not. It's not in Korean. That's kind of racist, but I like where you're going with that.
It just says pound sign, pound sign, pound sign, pound sign. I think this is Chinese.
But it was he would like have the girls. It was girls that would write it too.
Got it.
Things like that, like tell them little sayings to write.
Right.
And so
he just knew how to.
I don't know if they did it or he did it. I don't know. My
Okay.
mom still has the letters. They're
Really?
kind of funny. But my dad's he's a hoe, so we don't know. And they weren't married,
Right. Yeah.
So he was a hoe when they were married. So I can't imagine when they weren't.
But he was single over there in a war zone.
Yes.
And
yes.
you got to do what you got to do.
When in Rome, I guess.
When in Rome. Yeah. Wait, was it your birthday recently?
No, but I like that.
Okay.
And if it was, I wouldn't boast about it. But yes,
I thought I saw something where it was your birthday. So
my birthday's in August.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, that's
Happy
okay.
belated
Yeah,
birthday?
yeah. Why? When's your birthday?
July 21st.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
August 29th. Me and Michael Jackson. We're very close.
Robin Williams.
Oh, all right.
That was always mine.
Wow.
So both are famous.
See?
They're both dead. Yeah.
That one did it on purpose. The other one,
Yeah.
is it?
No,
Could
he
be.
overdosed though, right? Michael
Yeah,
Jackson
because
overdosed.
he's like, I really want to sleep hard. So isn't that the same thing?
I think so.
Yeah.
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 Deep sleep.
Deep.
But that was always my claim to fame when it was July 21st. I was always so happy that Robin Williams, Godfrey, and John Lovitz. I think there's 4 comics. We all have July 21st.
Wow. Are you a big birthday guy? Like,
No, I don't.
celebrate? Because my friend celebrated her 50th,
Mm-hmm.
and she threw herself a party.
50, I think that's
But
okay. Yeah.
That's amazing. Like
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I would never. I mean, if it was my birthday, I wouldn't. I don't know. It's just like any other day to me.
Yeah, I that's the way I always felt about birthdays. But I think turning 50, that's kind of a milestone.
Yeah, you're right.
That's one where you.
Do you have a lot of brothers and sisters?
I have a younger brother, 3 years younger. William served in the military.
Oh, very
and
nice.
he was in the army.
See, we are related.
Yeah, and he was hoeing it up over there in Korea. You snorting?
No. Oh, that's awesome. So
By the way,
she's,
I came in there. Annie
Annie
Annie's-
Letterman is in there,
Annie's
horning it
back
up.
there,
Where
and
is she?
she
Hoeing
just
it up.
reminded me.
She's
so
the
let me show you
best.
this. You saw me last night.
Okay.
I hardly hang out at the comic bar. Last night,
Right.
I was like, I'm going to hang out. I caught up in the spirits. Congratulations on your TV appearance.
Oh, thank you. Thank
the
you so
Ringers,
much.
so-
So you were watching that in the bar.
Watching that in the bar, celebrating with everybody
Thank
as
you.
we were, and it was so fun to like watch everybody there, watching a TV set, applauding. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's
How did you
great.
feel?
I didn't see it yet, but I felt great the night we filmed it.
Yeah.
But you never know what it comes out to.
Right.
Like I was just talking to Bill, and he's like, "What did you think?" And I'm like, "I didn't see it yet.
Yeah.
Don't like I can't. It's hard to watch yourself. Do you watch yourself?
No, God, no.
Thank God.
no.
Yeah, I thought I was
couldn't do
crazy.
it.
I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, yeah, but congratulations.
But I had fun, and
Yeah.
I felt like I really. Could you ever do one and you're like, oh, that was terrible. Like,
yeah.
And it's TV, and you're like, fuck me, like I can't.
Yeah, the very
like,
first.
"Can
It was the second TV appearance I ever did. I did them kind of quickly.
I can't imagine you bombing though.
Oh, Jimmy Kimmel Live. This is like the second year it's on, and it's when it's like a rectangular shaped studio, so they put the comic in the very corner.
Yes.
And you had to play to the camera and ignore the fact that the rest of the audience is literally all to your right. So I was going up, and I was so green. I just done my first one, so I kind of like blew my wad on my first
Right,
one on
right,
Late
right.
Show, and then Jimmy Kimmel had me on, and Dave Rath, who was booking at the time, he said, "Hey, if you're bombing, just keep doing your act." And then they're like, all right, Mr. Byrne, are you? I'm like, why would you say that to me before? I was so, my heart was thumping. I go on stage.
So not Dave. Like, I mean, I guess it
fucking-
is.
I did not do well. And then I remember I was wrapping up I was going to do another joke, and then they gave me the 1 minute card, and I go, forget it. And then I went into my closer, and they thought I said, fuck it. So they security met me, and they walked me to a trailer, and they said, did you say fuck it? And I said, no. I said, forget it. They said, are you sure? I said, forget it, because I got the card. I was going to do another joke, and then I knew I had to do my closers. That's why I said, forget it. So they brought me in, and they kept rewinding, like me going to the mic stand going, forget it, forget it, forget it. And they were like, did you say fuck? I'm like, I did not say fuck it. I swear to God. What is going? And I was like, I thought I was a guest here.
You're like, am I under arrest? I
Really
don't.
uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. And I never went back. They never had me back. And it was one of the worst TV sets I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh.
But last night,
Oh yeah. So you're partying.
I wake up. I just found, Annie just reminded me, I fell off the bar. No recollection of this whatsoever. I fell off the bar. Brent Morin caught me, thank God. Then I wake up
Shout out to Brent.
and I pull out
Good catch, buddy.
this bar bill.
What
just
is it?
here's your I want to get your reaction. Look at this bar bill.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh wow. Wow.
I woke up and I pulled that out of my wallet, and I just like panic because my wife,
Yeah. You're like,
she's not gonna be
honey.
$420. 14 Coors Lights, 12 Jameson shots,
Were you buying for the whole VIP bar? Because that
Yep.
sounds like everybody in the VIP bar.
6 mezcals.
What is a mezcal?
I think it's tequila. Nam Juan Repose. I don't know what that is. Bullet Bourbon. Don Julio Repo. $420. This is absolutely
That's with
heartbreaking.
a discount, correct?
I think so. I hope so. I hope so.
I
Jeez.
think it is too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there was a lot of Jamesons on there. I didn't do that, but we did go back to the bar. If you remember, you were like, "Let's go do a shot," and I was like, "Okay," because you were, and Punky was with us, and she had just gotten off stage, so she was a little high from the,
Yeah.
getting off stage kind of thing. She's like, "Let's do a shot. Let's do a shot," and I was like, "All right," and then you were like, "You know what? I'll do one tomorrow." But I'm not gonna do it tonight, and I just giggled. I was like, because I'm gonna do your show,
he's
so I'm
fucked
gonna
up.
do it. And I was like, yeah, I don't think he should.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, he's fine. He's taking an Uber. I'm like, yeah. Then they kidnap him. Like he's wasted.
I
You
end
can't
up an
black
organ
out.
donor in Mexico. That's how these things happen. Yeah.
They're like, this is your address, and they push you out of the
Get
car.
the fuck out of my car, you moron. But I can't believe I was so drunk.
Somebody
to not
said you
know,
brought some kings in.
Yeah, some
not
of the LA
like,
Kings
not
came
like
in.
King Henry or or whatever.
Yeah.
Not like
Not royalty.
Not royalty. Like literal the LA Kings.
The LA
Who was
Kings.
with? I'm a
Teddy
big
Purcell, Jeff Carter. A few
wow.
other players.
Carter
yeah, so
used
they
to
were
play for the Flyers.
for the Flyers. That's right. Yeah. He was there when there was a nice rivalry.
I have
between
his shirt.
My Pittsburgh
Kings.
Penguins and your Philadelphia
Yes,
Flyers.
yes. I
am
forgot
not
you're a
fan
big
of
hockey
the
fan.
Flyers, yeah.
Who
but
is?
I appreciate the fan base. I appreciate how passionate you guys are.
That's what I mean. They're
Yeah.
so wild.
But I think the Flyers have kind of lost their edge the last season or two. They're not as intimidating as they used to be.
I'll edit that out.
Okay.
So- they're not as intimidating.
Well, we've edited
no, but
Rick
I
out.
think you're right. Where the hell is Rick? He did text me. But they did. I think they're getting so sensitive.
Yeah.
Even in hockey, like what's his name ruined football. Brady.
Yeah.
He says he's minutes away. Brady ruined football. You can't touch anybody. He doesn't
Sure.
want to get tackled. So now it's like ballet in
Yeah.
cleats. It's weird. And so, but hockey too. Like
Yeah.
if I watch with my brother Charlie, he will literally. Here's Rick Ingram, guys.
Oh, yay. Hi.
Charlie will literally lose his mind
Yeah.
over the Flyers. Like he's in the basement and we'll hear him be like, "Fuck you, mother!" fuck." But I was home for a while and I watched a couple games with him, and I mean, he was just complaining it's true. Every time a little stick or like high sticky, he's like, "Wait, no,
Yeah.
was it a lot of bad calls, stuff like that?" Are you a hockey guy, Rick?
Fuck no.
Okay.
He doesn't like Canada.
I
Yeah.
do hate Canada, and Kansas City doesn't have a team, so The closest team
Oh,
was
yeah.
St. Louis, and you can't root for anything
can't do
St.
that, yeah.
Louis. 'cause
St.
that's-
Louis, that's what the story I told on the thing for the Ringers, because they were playing in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It was such a bad snowstorm. I was a kid.
Right.
They said if you can get there, we'll let you in for free and give you hot dogs and hot chocolate. My mom had
So
10
risk
kids,
your life.
basically.
Yeah.
We did. We almost
for the
lost.
cheapest option.
Yeah.
We'll give you the worst snacks possible.
Yeah.
if
Look,
you
my
make
mom
it
had
here.
10 kids. She was fine with it. Wait, I could lose a couple
Yeah,
on the
that's
way? This is a good idea.
It's like Oregon Trail. Maybe someone gets tuberculosis.
So she did. She put us on this like sled. She pulled us. It was 4 of us out of 10 that got to go.
Yeah.
But there was like 20 people in the Spectrum. That's a big
That's
deal.
crazy, yeah.
And Bobby Clark, my mom, it said he was like this guy from St. Louis. He had him checked against and his nose was bleeding. And my brother Billy was just like, oh my God. And Bobby Clark like smiled because here's
got
this
no
like
front teeth.
8-year-old kid like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Crazy.
yeah, we were so little. I just remember, but I remember it. I don't know if it's because they keep telling me, but I also remember. I remember seeing my dog in the streets. She was just out, and we were like, "Oh, there she is."
Yeah.
And then my
Roaming.
brother Billy fell off of the sled, and I was like, pulling, going,
you leave him.
He's
fuck 'em.
he's
Yeah.
between cars, and
It's
she's
not
like,
that
"God
hard
damn
to
it."
stay on a fucking sled.
Yeah. You just sit.
It is if you're Billy. He gets very distracted.
We had,
Every family's got a Billy.
yeah. I think I was Billy in my family.
Oh, definitely.
We had minor league hockey. We had the Kansas City Blades.
Okay.
And
How were they?
they were okay. Some years they were good. Some years they were bad. But I just remember the thing that I liked was if you had like 4 years of service time in the NHL,
Yeah.
then you didn't have to wear a helmet.
That's right. Yeah.
And so there would be like 2 or 3 guys on each team that were just out there with no helmet. And then they'd always end up getting in fights because they had to prove to these pussy minor league dudes.
Just how tough they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, I just remember being like, this is cool. I like that they punch each other in the face.
And there was no such thing as CTE at the time.
No,
So it
no.
did not exist.
Yeah, that's a 2000s thing.
Yeah,
That's something these
that's a
millennials
defense-
created.
Yeah.
That's something they use in the court of law now for defense, right? Aren't they using that for Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I think they're going to use it for
Aaron
Antonio
Hernandez.
Brown.
I mean, Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
You see that?
I
doc?
made Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that
It
was an
was
intense documentary.
intense.
Yeah, but it's like
What do you think?
I'm like, would you stop making it seem like because he was closeted, like
Yeah.
that was why? Because he's
There's lots of
banging
guys.
dudes or something.
Yeah, there's
and
lots
now
of
he's gonna go
dudes
kill people? It's like crazy.
who are closeted and never murdered someone a mile from their house when they were the only person that this guy knew.
Yeah. Plus, his friend from high school said he was very open about his sexuality, which I don't believe that in the NFL, but maybe
How awful was his lover from high school?
that's
dad?
the one I'm talking. Oh,
Just
guy.
you mean how amazing?
Yeah,
You
well,
said
yeah,
how
that's what I meant.
amazing.
He was so loud, I muted the TV, and I still heard him.
You're,
I was like, "How's that possible?
is
I
that
can
coming
still
from the
hear him."
neighbor's
Yeah.
house?
This guy is crazy.
You know, it's not like I want my sons to be homosexuals, but at the same time, you know, I want them just to love somebody.
The closed caption was just all caps. It's like, I get it. This dude's intense.
That whole documentary was, I'm just watching, and I thought the same thing, where I'm just like, I don't think this is a gay thing.
Yeah.
If they
Yeah.
focus more on like, look, this dude, he had one person in his life that he feared, his father. And when
Yeah.
dad died, no more rules, and brain injuries. And then I could be like, all right, that kind
And
of
a
excuses
cuckoo
it.
mother.
But there's also been a lot
Cuckoo mother.
of
Yeah.
people with brain injuries who don't murder
Kill people. Yeah.
people that it's like very obvious you're the guy.
Yeah.
But when he did say, hey, will you send me some Harry Potters? I was like, all right, this guy,
He's a murderer.
he 100% guilty as charged.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the other conversation that really had me going, wow, was him talking to his agent, and his agent being like, yeah, Nike isn't into it. And be like, you can get me a deal with Smith & Wesson? You're like,
Always funny.
Yeah.
Jesus, bro. You have to know they're recording you, right? How do you not know this?
You can't turn it off. He's always on.
He's always on.
Always on,
He's a
guys.
comic,
You know
yeah.
Hernandez. Come on, guys.
So so you're a big hockey guy.
Yes.
That's a big. I love that. Penguins. Are you
Big
from
Penguins fan.
Pittsburgh?
Yeah, from Pittsburgh. Yeah, Byrne and I got to do a show for Mario Lemieux's foundation, and we got to skate
Wow.
with like Mario Lemieux, Paul Coffey,
That's
Mark
amazing.
Recchi, who was on the Flyers for
Yeah.
a little bit too. So it was just a great experience. I mean, to be a kid and watching arguably the second greatest hockey player ever
Yeah.
in the history of
Who
hockey.
do you say's first? I mean, I'm just,
Well, Gretzky, you could go,
Okay.
but he's Mount
The great
Rushmore.
one.
Gretzky, Gordie Howe, Bobby Orr, Mario Lemieux.
mm-hmm.
I think those four for sure. Mount
I like
Rushmore.
that. I like that.
Those are 4 who I've heard of, so that sounds right to me.
That's right. Yeah.
My dad plays fantasy hockey, and I'll be like,
No.
yeah, I go,
Does he?
yeah, I go,
Amazing.
82 games. It's crazy.
yeah, I go. How do you pick your
That's
guys?
like
He's
baseball.
like,
Yeah, that's too much.
I just spend a couple hours reading like who they think is going to be good this year, and then
Yeah.
I just hope that they're right. Because I'm like, do you even understand how it all works? He's like, not really, but I won last year. I'm like,
He won.
Okay,
That's,
yeah.
that's nice.
yeah,
There's a big hockey industry, like out here.
It's called the
like,
NHL? Yes.
No, I mean
The National Hockey
in
League.
the. I hate me.
he got you pretty good there.
Thank
actually.
you.
Yeah.
Burn me.
Hello.
What?
Damn.
No, but in the industry, like managers, agents that play, like
Yes.
a lot of, and so I didn't know that. And all the guys from 3 Arts, like big, huge managers, comedy managers and stuff like that, they all do every year a big thing with a lot of hockey players, and they play against each other.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, holy shit! Like
Yeah.
these are little guys, like little Jewish guys, like
Yeah.
just on the ice. And I'm like, no, you're gonna get crushed.
Well,
But I think
when they play, they
do
only
it for
give 10%.
charity, obviously.
Yeah.
They only get.
God damn it.
Hello.
God damn it!
Is this
Byrne
guy
is on,
professional?
man. He's on. Is that why?
I know Aaron Hernandez, guys.
No.
I kind of,
Obviously.
I'm more of an Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
I can't. I can't even ice skate.
I can. I love to ice skate.
I only
No one
tried
likes
once
to
in my
ice
life.
skate
I
with
was
me.
so bad. It was worse than like I was the first of all I was the loser kid roller skating growing up. Like when they had roller
Okay.
skating night, I was that fucking loser on the
You
wall.
in boy shorts and roller skates.
Ugh.
I'd pay anything to see that.
Everything.
I would pay
everything
anything.
I do
have.
appreciate that. But I
Are they
tried.
silver shorts? Tell
Yeah.
me they're silver.
They're sequin.
Oh, sequin.
I flew on a Southwest flight with what's his name, Richard, the super gay one who looks like an old Pauly Shore,
Oh, Simmons.
Richard Simmons.
Oh, yeah?
Looks like
And-
an old Polish.
Yeah, he does. So that's what someone asked him on the airplane.
We might get canceled.
I was
What?
loving it. Someone he was sitting
Someone
behind me.
asked him if he was
He
Polish.
was being super loud. He was just, it was so inappropriate. And then this lady, she's probably like 45, goes, "Excuse me, are you Pauly Shore?" And I was like, "This is the greatest moment of my life. I've never been happier to be a part of anything." And he was like, "Who? The movie guy? No."
There is nothing funnier than a bitter old queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the fucking
It's
greatest.
true.
He was spectacular. He went and used the restroom at some point, then came out full, just shouting for the plane. "Who was in there before me? Air freshener!" I'm like,
No,
My
he's
God.
But
doing
he still
time.
does his classes, I heard, right?
I know he went
He
missing
has
for a
to.
while,
Oh, he
You
has
did go
somebody
missing,
kidnapped
but I
him.
think
But-
he's back.
But you can, I've had friends that go to his exercise class.
Yeah.
and
It's like in Century City or something.
yeah, something like that. And they said it's
Beverly
fucking
Hills.
awesome. They
Yeah.
said it's really fun.
I believe it. He was very intense, but it was quite the experience. I mean, he sat directly behind me, so it was like the whole time, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
To you?
Yeah, I'm like, "I'm sitting here."
Did you tell him you opened for Pauly Shore a couple times?
No, I was terrified to engage. He was engaging everyone so much. "Do you think this guy's hot?" He was looking in a magazine, asking like all the middle-aged women around. They're like, "I don't know. I think he's gorgeous."
It's a sin
Yeah, it was fantastic.
on his Southwest flight.
He was like going to speak at some children's hospital or something in Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
That was his calling.
Did you go see it?
I absolutely missed it somehow. I think I got the Cliff Notes on the plane.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Wait, so did you start stand up in Pittsburgh or?
No, New York
out-
City.
Oh, New York City.
Yeah, started in '97. I was sweeping floors and, answering phones at Caroline's. Never intending to be stand-up. It was just a shit job I got out of the gates to just get by out of college. And then
Where were you going to school?
I went to Kent State, Ohio, home of the comedic genius known as John Caparillo.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm sure you guys have heard of him.
I've heard that.
I know it well.
But I studied at Kent, and then I went to New York City to kind of crash my folks' couch for a little bit and just experience New York before I got on with my life. And worked at Caroline's, and after like 4 months, I was watching. They had this new talent showcase this guy Andy Engel used to run on Wednesday nights, and I was just like, man, that looks like fucking fun. I would love to try that.
Really?
And then 4 months later, I tried it up at Stand Up New York, and it just went off. It was a great set. And the next probably 15 or 20 were fucking awful.
Oh yeah,
and I was always
beginner's
trying
luck,
to
and then
get back to that. I
Yeah.
was like, what did I do
let
that
me
first
get that
time?
high
Yeah.
again. Yeah. Like, and you're just hitting the arm and the side.
Always.
Yeah.
But it was like to be in New York City, especially at that time. I was doing, once I got in the rotation, I was doing like 7-8 sets a night.
That's how
Monday
it is,
through
yeah.
Sunday. Just it was like a girl I was obsessed with. I just couldn't stop thinking about stand up. I just loved it so much.
Who were some of the other comics you were working with?
Well, once I passed at the Cellar was the first club I passed at, which
Yeah.
is crazy. It's the toughest one, as you know.
So tough.
And it was so funny. I was just talking to somebody about this, about comics like these days. I think we all still bust each other's chops and,
Oh, yeah.
shit on each other. And
You've been doing it the whole time.
yeah. And so I
kidding.
remember the first time I was at the Comedy Cellar. I just passed. It was a Tuesday. It was like 12 people in the audience, right? And I'm new and I'm fresh. And then I'm on stage, and then Patrice O'Neill, like Colin Quinn, Jim Norton, Rich Voss, Greg Giraldo, Keith Robinson, they all walk in, and they sit in the front row of the Comedy Cellar, and they just fold their arms and stare at me.
Oh my
and
god.
I'm doing my act. I'm like, oh fuck, oh god.
And you
I'm
know who they are.
of course.
But are you friends at this point?
No,
or
God,
you're
not friends at all. Just passed, like nervous as shit to talk to them, and
See,
now
that never
they're
happened here.
in the front, just doing this to me the
Yeah.
whole time. Not.
Yeah.
So I get the light. I'm doing my closing bit, and as I'm doing the closing bit, Patrice looks at them and goes. They all get up and walk out on me as I'm doing my closing bit, and it's like somebody's plinking my vertebrae out of my back. I'm just like starting to,
Yeah.
I'm bombing on stage, fucking miserably, and then I walk up to the Comedy Cellar table after I do it, and I open the door, and it just get
Damn.
just get the slow clap, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm part of the club now. I guess
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
That was a nice little, welcome to the
Welcome
Comedy
home.
Cellar moment. Yeah, fucking
Damn.
awful. I mean, Patrice of all people. I mean,
Oh,
he's
Yeah,
he's
that's brutal.
fucking brutal, but so talented.
But Keith too. Keith is pretty
Keith.
bad. Keith will get in your face.
Yeah.
That's a Philly kid.
Yeah,
Keith Robinson, he's so funny.
And
I'm
then
obsessed
one of the
with
fucking
him.
best.
Yeah.
And the 12 people in the audience are probably like, hey, why aren't those guys on stage? why can't we see the
Dang.
front row? This
Yeah.
isn't fair.
dude, it was fucking. What another time? I'll never forget this. Godfrey used to host all the time, and much like here at the store, you guys have seen nights like this, but it was fucking crazy. It was like, again, like a Monday night. People paid $10 to go there, and Godfrey's hosting, and it was one of those nights where so many comics kept coming in that the other comics were just like, I'm fucking out. And they
Right.
just left. And I was like, I'm
like
waiting.
getting bumped.
Yeah,
Got
I'm going
it.
to do my set.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. So Godfrey goes up. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe we got a special guest. Ray Romano, everybody. Ray Romano comes up, and this is back when the show was still on the air.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
geez.
So
yeah.
Everyone was
Ray
loving
goes
him.
up,
Yeah.
kills, does great, 15. Godfrey goes back up. Ladies and gentlemen, you're never going to believe this. Dave Chappelle, everybody.
Yeah.
Chappelle goes up, kills. Guys, you're not going to fucking believe this. Chris Rock, ladies and gentlemen. The place is fucking going mental, okay?
Yeah.
Chris Rock goes up. He goes, guys, you're not going to believe this. I'm not Robin Williams, ladies and gentlemen. Robin Williams comes in. I mean, they're fucking they paid $10.
Yeah.
They're going
Yeah.
fucking mental.
Ape shit. This is the 90s.
Yeah.
Oddly.
So, yes, late 90s, early 2000s. And he goes, guys, I can't believe this night. You're never going to believe this. Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Murphy. They're
No.
going
No,
fucking
is
mental.
it?
He goes, I'm fucking around. Steve Byrne. I go up and just eat a plate of dicks for 15 minutes. A plate of fucking awful.
Yeah.
But
They don't
you
taste
know,
good like that on a plate. It's different.
I've heard that.
Yeah, it doesn't get as saucy. But oh my god,
Yeah, it's brutal.
that's
Have you guys had?
of course.
I had to go up here one night. This was before he was scorned from society forever, but Louis C.K. went up, and then he brought up Chris Rock. And I know he brought up Chappelle,
Yeah.
and then Chappelle's like, is it Rock? And the crowd's all like, yeah. And then they're like, no, it's going to be Rick Ingram. I'm like,
Good to be home.
yeah. So I went up.
What's his name?
They
I love
liter-
that. I
They
love
literally
it.
just looking at me like, what the fuck is this guy on stage?
Yeah.
And Chris Rock then walks through the room, and everyone's just like, Oh, he is here.
Dude,
Should I just bring him
fucking-
up or?
I bombed. One of the worst bombs I've ever had at the Comedy Store. I'll never forget. It was so bad. It was just one of those nights in the OR. Nothing's working. Just flatlining.
Oh,
Yeah.
Absolutely. I couldn't generate. I'm doing crowd work. I'm doing material. I'm fucking ace in the holes. All of it.
Yeah.
Bombing. And I come off stage, and then Maz goes, "Do you know who was in the back of the room watching?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Eddie Murphy." I go, "Fuck no." And as he's telling me, Eddie Murphy walks right by both of us. And it was one of the most depressing, disheartening moments I've had here.
Yeah.
Just so fucking sad. Let's talk about some nice stuff, guys. Yeah, I fell off the bar last night, too. I don't know if you heard
we
that,
missed that. Rick missed that.
fell off the bar.
He did fall off the bar in the
I was
VIP
drunk
bar.
last night and I fell
Brett
off the
Morin
fucking
caught
bar.
him.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
got good
that's not
hands,
bad.
Avi.
Thank fucking God.
Right?
If you're gonna have someone catch you want it to be Brent.
Yeah.
So wait, so you were in New York for how long until you came to LA?
I was in New York for 7 years, and it was at the point where usually like those New York comics, like when you peak, you're doing all the clubs, you're doing all the sets, but that's it. Maybe you do Letterman. Maybe you do,
Right.
now it'd be Colbert, but nobody's like doing TV shows or like here there's generating,
Yeah.
everybody's working on a pilot or something. So I was just like, I'm just not going to be a lifer in these New York clubs. I want it all.
Right.
So then I moved to LA, and once I moved to LA, I started headlining and traveling
More,
the country,
yeah.
and the store was difficult because I had to show up and show my face, and it
Well,
took
you got
like
to
a
be
year
part
and
of
a
the
half.
club, okay?
Yeah, with
Was it
Tommy.
Tom?
Yeah. So it took a year and a half, but then I finally
What
finally
did
got
he,
in.
What did he say to him,
The
Rick?
building likes you now, Steve, okay?
Does?
You're part of it, all
How
right?
do you know that?
We're going to work you in, okay? I was talking with Ahmed, okay? Mitzi thinks he's gorgeous. And,
Does she think he's funny? Though?
well, Mitzi has a thing, okay? And she just, I was speaking with her actually just yesterday.
But Mitzi hasn't spoken to anyone in like a year.
Well, we
She only took-
communicate differently, okay? She talks me through the bubbles when she falls under the
That's-
water in the bath.
Tommy, are you trying to drown her?
Well,
Tommy, do you miss T-Birds?
here's the thing, okay? Black guys saw my white hair and they thought I was the man.
Really?
It's one of the strangest things he would tell me all the time. Well, the black guys at T-Birds would see my white hair and they'd think I was the man.
By the way, he never said black guys.
No,
well,
no.
True.
He said something.
I'm
You're
not trying to
absolutely
get canceled, but yeah. You're absolutely accurate.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, he was so funny with the T-Birds. Like sometimes I'd come in, he'd always have some bizarro. Like he's like, "Well, tonight you're gonna get up early because of your vagina." I'm like, I don't. That's
Why would you
inappropriate.
say that?
That's the worst thing. Go back
He
to the
had-
N-bombs.
He had the haircut every kid has in second or third grade when you don't exactly get a haircut yet, but it was like it was
Like
in the
feathery.
middle. It was just dropped down. It was like
I always
every kid
called
had
it
that haircut.
I called it the thinning spinal tap. It looked like Christopher Guest from Spinal Tap, but it wasn't all quite there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You throw a wig on Taylor Williamson, and we could shoot a Tommy
we've been
biopic
telling
right
him
now.
that. We've been telling him that. He's like,
That is
"Yeah."
so
And you know he's so
fucking funny.
sweet. He's like,
Yeah.
I guess,
think,
yeah.
That I don't.
I
yeah.
kind of miss Tommy.
He's so nice to me. Like, because he was very nice to you.
He was always nice to me, but
Yeah.
you
Even
hear
though
these
you're
stories and
Korean half.
even
He was
though
good.
even though I
Okay.
was
Well,
because he liked the other half.
yeah.
He likes the Irish.
Irish.
Yeah.
We never had problems with Asians at T-Birds.
I didn't know that.
Well,
Tommy.
How do you do it with dice?
With
I see
what
you
does that
posting,
mean?
and it just like
I don't know what you mean.
You
I'm
are
kidding.
a saint.
Oh yeah. Well, he's a nightmare, but I mean,
He's so fucking funny, but he's got to be crazy to work with, like you do all the time, right?
he's completely insane.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we get along in an odd. What did Ranazizi say the other day? It's the most dysfunctional,
yeah.
functional relationship I've
Yeah.
ever seen. Like it's so bad, but I mean, because he's like that. He's just a mess. Rick knows he opened for him too. Like going on the
It's
road,
intense, yeah.
or like he was asking for Rick's number today, and I was nervous. I'm like, I don't know. Let me
Do this to
text
him.
Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't do this.
She's
to him.
like, "Can I give Andrew your number?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then after I say yeah, me like, "Wait, what? Why does he want my number?"
Because like we all like he was here all the time. You know
Sure.
what I mean? Like this was his safe place, if you will.
Yeah.
So like when he was going through a
Also his dumpster.
divorce, that you know
Bring his
about that.
garbage. I'm like, what the fuck? This is Dice. I never.
Great dumpsters here
Yeah.
at the store.
I can't believe you know about the garbage dumps.
Yeah.
But this wasn't the only place.
Yeah.
You know, he just like dumping garbage.
Yeah, we'd be
Like,
in
it
the
was a
valley. He's
hobby.
like, we got to do a move. I'm like, what? And then
I was like, why is he handling my merch?
Put it in the dumpster.
put it in the garbage. He would like keep the car running and then throw the garbage, and we'd all jump in the car like we did something so illegal. I'm like, there's just garbage in there, right? There's not
Yeah.
like babies or like there's not bodies that we don't
Yeah.
know about.
Yeah.
Because the way he would make us all do it, we were like,
Dexter
what
Dice
is
Clay.
happening?
Dude, Billy Gardell, you guys know Billy, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Him and Andrew are really close.
He used to
He's the
open for him, and
sweetest.
the greatest. And he told me a story about Dice that I always thought was so goddamn funny. He got Billy upgraded to first class with him.
Okay.
So they're both sitting in first class, and they get sat, and then they start seating everybody in coach.
By the way, he does that because he doesn't want anybody sitting next to him.
Oh, okay. So it's not.
Yeah, it's
not being
not
a
for
nice
anyone's
guy.
benefit other than
Yeah.
his. But
Yeah.
But I guess as people are walking, maybe he's done this when you guys, but as people are walking on, he's literally looking at them going, last class to the
Yeah.
back. And Gardell's like, oh, fuck. And he's just got to sit there and like pretend he doesn't know him because he feels so
he
bad.
doesn't want to be part of the
yeah,
fucking.
the last class to the back.
If there's not like an upgrade or we'll do JetBlue a lot, like
Yeah.
and they have that single seat. So I'll come by, and if there's like nothing, like usually he will get me upgraded, but
Yeah.
if there's not, there's not. So I'll walk by, and he'll be like, "Are you coming on the plane yet?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm in line. You know, should be like the next couple people."
Sure.
And so of course he sits up because he knows I'm coming, and he's like, "Don't talk to me. You're in the back." With the peasants in last class, like and I'm like, oh my god, like you never know what.
Are people laughing or are they just like,
No, they always get annoyed because it's always like early in the morning, so they're just like, what is he yelling? Or he'll be like, can you get my phone won't go to youjizz.com, and people are just like, what? Like,
yeah.
and then he's like, and I gotta get this blanket to cover so I can get one out. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh
okay.
my god! But it's all for a show.
For the-
like
yeah,
he's
for the funnies.
always just
He's positive that his life is an actual sitcom
Yeah.
at all times.
he
And
has.
sometimes
to,
he's filming himself, but even when he's not, in his mind, someone's probably filming
Yeah.
him from somewhere.
Yeah, with the other one, with the we do this thing where we argue. Obviously,
Yeah.
they call some people call it public theater, and we just literally break out into this argument. And so we were arguing at an airport. Was it Jersey or San Fran? Where were we with the right boys? That one?
It was New Brunswick.
It was Jersey. All right.
Yeah, we flew from Miami to Jersey,
And you did a gig in New Brunswick?
and
Stress
we-
Factory,
yeah,
probably.
we
Yeah.
were in New York for like a week and a half. It was when there was
Oh,
a Laugh
yeah.
Factory in New York.
Yeah.
That's when me and Rick would tag out and be like, "Look, we gotta get away from him."
Yeah,
I was dating him at the time. Wasn't doing stand up.
Yeah.
Because he's my second ex fiance.
Oh.
I'm not a closer.
yeah.
It's not my thing. But I keep him around.
I think he dodged a bullet.
Yeah. He got excited.
Thanks, Mom.
He saw two very stereotypical looking lesbian women
Yeah.
and immediately starts nudging Eleanor.
Yeah.
It's
And,
like, let's do this. And I'm like, oh,
and she immediately is ready for the part.
we
right.
go.
And
I'm an
she's-
actress. I need
Yeah.
to work.
And he's like, "Are you gonna go get the bags, dummy?" And she plays the part of just the idiot.
Yeah.
I'll go get them. You know what do they look like? You don't remember our bags? Oh my God! And these two ladies are just
Fury.
fuming. Yeah,
Fucking
just
livid.
like getting
Yeah.
so mad that
Fucking
this
furious.
animal is treating this poor woman this way.
Jesus.
And she's playing the part perfectly, and I'm just kind of standing back. And I'm like, man, these two ladies might
We're gonna get
actually
arrested.
murder someone.
Yeah.
And so she, is that our bag? He said, that's not our bag. He's getting all mad. And one of them says something kind of under their breath, or just, this guy's a pig or disgusting. And then he just goes, points out. He goes, "Chicks, you dudes know what I'm talking about."
You dudes know what I'm talking. I mean, I was like, oh my god, I'm getting the bag.
She's like, "You are a disgusting man." He, what? What did I? And they storm off, and he's just like, so happy to just get the exact response he knew he was going to get from
anything to annoy people.
I'm just sitting there, this is so great.
I mean, the other day he did one. We were at at a gym in Hollywood, and like right on Hollywood Boulevard or something. And there was a shooting, and we didn't know. And he's like, "Oh, there's a news van. They're gonna want to talk to me." I'm like, "For what? Why would they?" And so
we understand Dice might be there. Go, just set up a camera crew in case Dice shows up.
And so we were walking, and of course they ignore him, and it was hysterical. But then we get closer, and I'm like, the guy's reading. He's like, there was a shooting. One of the suspects is in custody. 2 of them are still at large, and they're just the guy's like on camera. And then the cameraman goes, "Dice," like while the guy's reading.
Yeah.
There's 2 people running around with a gun, and he's like, "Can we get a selfie?" And the fucking cameraman took a selfie with him, and I was like,
Jesus
"Oh
Christ!"
my God.
While they're doing the news.
Yeah, and he posted it, and I go, "That guy's gonna get fired."
Oh my God.
Those things are always. I remember it was probably like 10 years ago. But you guys remember when there's some crazy guy drove his car down the boardwalk in Venice?
Yeah.
And so
At the farmer's market. Right?
yeah, and so he hit a couple people or something. I can't remember what the deal was, but
No one cares.
afterwards they're interviewing locals, and just pops up Barry Diamond, local. And I'm like, is that Barry Diamond? And he's like, I guess the guy just got in his car and ran some people over. It was like
It was really Barry
It
Diamond?
was really Barry Diamond.
Wow.
Do you know
That's
who
so
that is?
Dark
okay, good.
white
I
hair.
get nervous. I don't know.
It was. I hadn't seen him in a couple of years. It was very bizarre. Same with his white hair.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, they don't even. It doesn't say comedian or anything. It's just Barry Diamond, local.
And
Resident.
It's in his reel now,
he's
so
like,
that's awesome.
That's the most TV work I've had in a while.
It goes from bachelor party to that.
A little bit of a break in between the two.
Taking a breather, yeah.
Channel 5 as local. I was listed.
But he was always in the main room when I.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, when you came here, and I love Barry. I was in his act. Like, he did a thing. He'd be like, and he did it even on the road. Like, if a waitress came by, he'd be like, "Eleanor, that's my wife, Eleanor, 14 years old, God bless her. Got the body of a 17-year-old, right? That was how it started.
Yeah.
That was when I was waiting tables, not doing comedy.
Right.
Then a few years goes by, just I was here a long time waiting tables, and I'm putting drinks out and Barry's on, and he's like, "Eleanor, that's my wife, Eleanor. 17 years old, got the body of a 19-year-old. And I'm like, oh my God, I aged in Barry's fucking act. I have to get out of here.
You aged quicker than his act.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is.
I was like,
odd.
oh my God, I didn't think he changed jokes, but he did.
That was
And
the most
for
writing
me-
he's done in a while.
Yeah. I was like, oh my
It's
God.
a classic Argus Hamilton move.
I was like, I got to get out of here. If I'm old in Barry's act now,
Yeah.
like, I pedophilia funny. This not. No.
I always wondered, like, what. Because I forget who. Because Tommy always had those guys around.
Yeah.
But then once the new regime came in, I mean,
Well,
they got axed. And
Well,
I
he-
always wondered what the old timers thought. Because Argus is the one that slipped through the cracks. He's the one I remember.
Because
from back
Mitzi
in the
was
day,
still
so
around
stayed.
when new regime started, so
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
get rid of Argus. Although he definitely gets less spots than he used to.
Yeah.
Which is really uncomfortable
But
for
like,
me.
if
Yeah.
I'm used to this bizarro place to run a certain way.
Sure. Yeah.
if you know, like, you'll see sometimes on social media they'll post a lineup or something, and
Mm-hmm.
then you'll get 3 or 4 of the old timers commenting, "Too bad we're not allowed to come to the club anymore." And you're just
not-
like, you haven't written a new joke in 35 years. Like, comedy is hot right now. They're not going to put up the 65-year-old guy with references from 83.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any though that like are deserving or?
Schubert kills
I love
it.
Schubert.
But Schubert's been here since I've known Schubert since '93.
Yeah.
From here. So
I love him.
He's terrific.
Yeah.
Argus is still funny, and it's not to say those guys aren't funny.
Sure.
It was a huge change happening. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you came here, you were coming up with like Sebastian, right? Brett Ernst. I'm trying to think of Ahmed Ahmed.
Yeah.
Like those were the young, hip comics at that point,
Yeah.
right? Like you guys were the new
Ren is Easy.
Ren
And,
is Easy, yeah. And
Mike Young when he was only in his 50s.
right?
A very young
Damn,
Mike
is he
Young.
timeless or what?
He's a Benjamin
He's not
Button, that
aged.
guy.
yes,
Yeah.
that piece of shit.
Always with
Who
tequila
the
and a
fuck
20-year-old.
is Mike Young? Anyway, I love his hats.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Mike Young?
I remember this girl. I met this girl here years ago, and she was like, "Yeah, we should hang out sometime." I'm like, "All right." And then I think she texted me or called me or something. Was like, "Yeah, we should hang out this weekend." I'm like, "All right." She's like, "Yeah, see if Mike Young can." I'm like, "Yeah, all right. Have a good life."
Nice
That'll
talking
do
to
it.
you.
Yeah.
You think I'm like his date manager or something?
Yeah.
Well, Mike wouldn't give me his number, but just go see if that door guy will. Middleman for this. Oh, you want Mike to fuck you? Okay, I'll let him know.
But I mean, that's really hard for a club to make that decision. And a lot of times, I would get mad at Tommy because he wasn't kind to them when they were still coming in.
Yeah.
And Mitzi her health was declining, and he was taking over the lineup.
Sure.
So he was helping weed it out
Yeah.
more than she would.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was telling her, well, they don't fit into what we're doing here, and I'm like, comedy? Like you can't
Yeah.
say it that way.
Tommy's thing was he wanted to feel like he had power over anyone on his lineup.
Sure, and he
Yeah.
wanted
So-
to say he developed that.
Yeah, he developed them. I mean, he's on an island in Honduras, talking about how he developed.
Just not alive.
This is based in reality. Like 3 weeks
Wait.
ago,
He's in Honduras?
he's in Honduras. My buddy's ex-girlfriend is there with her new husband, and they walked into a small restaurant, and Tommy Morris is playing guitar in the corner of the restaurant and discussing in between songs people he discovered at the Comedy Store to a restaurant that has maybe 12 people in it. 8 of them do not speak English. 4 of them are just tourists. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? I discovered Crystalia. I talked to Tony Hinchcliffe on the phone. And she's sitting there. She was trying to, like, she goes, I know who that guy is. Couldn't figure it out. And then she started talking about the Comedy Store. And she's like, oh, my God, that's how
so
I know him.
funny. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what he's
he's-
doing now, huh?
So
what
if
he's
you need
doing.
to see him,
He's covering Hunger Strike
Yeah.
by
Strike.
Temple of the Dog and discussing.
I'm going home. I would love to see that.
It's pretty intense.
I mean, we have a little clip, but it's because she filmed a
Oh,
little
she
bit of
did?
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's yeah, with the pan through the restaurant to show that there's legitimately no one there other than her and her fiance, who's just kind of looking like, what the fuck is going on?
Did you ever see Ari Shafir did this thing? He wrote I think it was in college. He wrote a script called Shooter,
Yeah.
Okay.
and it was pretty bad,
Yeah.
like horrendously bad.
Yeah,
I
but
believe.
he filmed it, right? Didn't he film?
Well, he sent it around to people. Read
Yeah.
this. What do you think? And they were like, "No, this is terrible." So he decided to have a reading, a table
Yeah.
reading of it, and like David Tell was in it. Like David Tell would literally take smoke breaks. That's how
Yeah.
and then he like his character. They'd be like, "You're up. Your character's coming back in."
Yeah.
And he'd come in as a different guy because it was so bad.
Oh, God.
So, but the reading was really funny.
Yeah.
And Tommy wrote a Whitney script, and we want to
Wait.
find it, like a spec script.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And we want to have it read.
Oh, yes, please. Give me
But-
a fork and knife. Hungry. I'm hungry. I would do anything to see that, please.
Yeah, we want to do that, like have them read it out, like with Chris and Whitney, by the
I'll
way.
tell you, it's funny because this reminds me of one of the worst things.
But Rick
These are all the
can't
bad
find
things.
it. It's all Rick's fault.
Yeah,
He
it's
sent
my
it to
fault.
Rick.
He sent it to you?
Yeah, I had it.
Did he give it to
12
Whitney
years
at
ago.
all?
I think so.
Probably.
She's got to have it then.
Maybe.
Somewhere in.
I don't know if she would be behind. She's not as
She had
mean
a
as
lot
we
of
are.
success since then, so
Yeah,
I'm not sure that
sure,
the Tommy
yeah.
script made it in the moves from
the few
mansion
moves,
to
Probably
mansion.
deleted it the minute she got it.
Yeah.
Not knowing the
She's
gold.
not reading. Oh yeah, like cause she's not malicious like that. Like
No,
we
no,
would
no.
be
One
like,
of the sweetest.
hey, let's
Yeah.
let's hurt someone.
Yes,
I was
please.
given a hard copy. Otherwise, I would have just emailed that shit to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately, like, everyone needs to have this for safekeeping.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Put this in your do not burn file. Like, yeah.
I remember, do you know Robert Kelly?
Yeah, of
New York
course.
comic? So this is
my boo.
early 2000s. Technology, now we have everything on our phone, right? But I was going to put together an SNL audition three characters, three imitations or whatever. And so I asked Bobby, who's always tech savvy, could I borrow your camera?
Yeah.
He said, of course. So I hit record. I just let it record the whole time, and I'm in and out talking to myself, doing this thing, and I'm like, I'll just chop it and edit it together. So I edited a thing. I sent it off. I give Bobby Kelly back his camera. I go, hey, I bought some DV tapes, and I kept the one in, so just tape over it. I gave it to him.
No, that's never happening. Not with
It
Bobby
was,
Kelly.
I think it was Rich Voss was having a roast at the Boston Comedy Club in New York City. Okay, Bobby
a new
Kelly,
one or an old one? Because he just had one.
an old one.
Okay, this
years
is a long
ago.
time ago.
And Bobby took the audition tape, okay,
Yes.
and he put
I'm
together
listening.
the worst parts of my audition tape. He gets up during the roast. Every comic is there. Every comic in New York
Yeah,
City is
it's
at this
the
thing.
Boston.
I'm
That's a
hosting,
big deal. Yeah.
I'm hosting at the Cellar, so I wasn't there. Bobby wheels out a TV like in 8th grade when you got to watch a movie.
I'll bite his
With the
face.
VCR, puts in the thing, and he's like, this is what I want to do tonight. I want to show you Steve Byrne's SNL audition. I put this together for everybody tonight, and literally within a minute, Colin Quinn's going, Bobby, please turn it off. This is awful. This is so bad. And he's like, no, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be. No one's laughing because everybody's like, this is bad.
Is more sad
It's
than funny.
Exactly, all those things. It was so bad. Bill Burr said to this day, it's the meanest thing he's ever seen. And you think about that. Bill's seen some crazy. He said it's the meanest thing. And I remember afterwards, everybody was coming to the Cellar to kind
At
of
that
like.
point, were Bill and Bobby living together?
No. This is after that.
Because they were roommates. Yeah.
No one would even look at me because they were so uncomfortable. No one would fucking look at me. And to this
There
day,
it
I
is.
just there it is. That's Bobby Kelly.
That's
Yeah.
him in a nutshell.
That's
That
him
should
in a
be his
nutshell,
if
Is that the retarded guy from
I
the
am-
video? Yeah, that's him. That's Steve.
we all did the Impractical Jokers a cruise.
Yeah.
Bobby was on
That's
that.
right, that's
oh
right,
my
yeah,
god,
yeah.
we had so much fun.
That was a fun one.
He is out of his mind. See, I
Bobby's
think
nuts.
the New York cruise, those guys are a little harsher. Like, we're pretty harsh to one another, but
Not like that. No,
not,
that's bad.
They were pretty. Like, I've listened to stories, I've heard stories, and like Patrice O'Neill telling all these crazy stories, Colin Quinn, all that.
Yeah.
They were like vicious.
There were times where so the original
I think
Joe's,
I like that better. Is that bad?
Well,
Maybe I'm
Part of it
abusive.
that makes it super mean is that you weren't even there, so there was just no
Oh,
reason
yeah,
for
that's
it.
true.
Yeah.
It was just like he was just like, fuck it.
Like,
let's
if
just-
you were
let's
the
just
one
rip
being
Burns.
roasted,
Yeah.
for sure.
that makes sense.
Yeah. But there was a time where
Unless they were trying to say you were Voss, but go ahead.
well, Joe's Pizza was across the street from the Cellar.
Yeah.
And you'd come in with like 2 slices of pizza, and you'd literally go to do that, and they just smack it right out of your hand. Damn it. All the time.
That's so
There was a
hot.
period of time
That's
where
so hot.
So
Literally, it's every guy I dated.
there was one time I remember I used to I wasn't rollerblading, but I was playing hockey.
I
Okay,
like that you're-
in
I like
Central
it.
Park. So
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
right,
scared
I
of
was
man.
just rollerblading, like hi. So I was playing hockey, and
with
I was
Rick shorts.
I was
Uh-huh.
with Rick shorts, and I was skating down the street, and I lived in Hell's Kitchen, where Bobby and Norton lived at the time.
Okay.
And they walk out of a Starbucks with 2 fresh coffees, and they see me, and they both start
Oh,
fucking
I
laughing,
don't. I
absolutely
can't.
laughing. My stick got broke, so I didn't have my stick, so I'm just in rollerblades. Okay,
Yeah.
So I'm rollerblading, and they see me, and they're fucking howling. And I skate. I start to slow down, and I skate right between them, and I fucking smack their coffees out of their hand. And I kept
So
going.
proud of you.
And Bobby laughed so fucking hard. And it made me so happy. This one time I remember Bobby, because he's so mean, but I love him too. He got,
Because they can dish it, but they take it too.
sometimes they can't take, but they can. Yeah, Bobby can take it. They
Yeah.
all can take. Yeah, Bobby got out of a New York City cab one time, and his change was $5 in nickels, and he was so fucking furious. He had a cup of $5 of nickels,
That's weird.
and I smacked it out of his hand, and he just sat there and he fucking started laughing so hard. And I was watching him pick up all the nickels. We were all watching.
he's
It
not
was
gonna
so
leave 'em
fucking
there.
funny. And then this is what made him. He's like, I have $4.90 now. I have four.
Oh,
Where's the
the
2 other fuck? I
anxiety.
had 5. Now I have $4.90. You motherfucker! It was just one of those redemptive, satisfying moments. Like fuck you, Bobby.
Yeah. This is for that SNL
Yeah.
Yeah.
masterpiece.
You piece of shit.
How dare you? I say keep the thing so you don't have to buy one. You could tape over it and you
Yeah.
take my life and put it out
oh
there,
my
you
God.
piece of
and
shit.
I guarantee you still got the tape somewhere. Knowing
No.
him, he's
Yeah.
so malicious.
When you came here, were people mean to you?
No. I think that
'Cause
was
you were
like,
already established.
I was established, but also like, it was like a great young crew. It was like everybody
No,
was.
yeah.
It was so fun, and like we used to go to the Grove all the time, and nobody was working, and everybody was single, and so we used to go to the Grove and play home run derby. We used to. There was a
That's
park,
amazing.
a baseball park next to the Grove. We'd play home run derby. And we'd time it out perfectly so that at 3:00 we'd get our shit, walk over to Wood Ranch, and you'd walk through the Grove, and that's when all the Price is Right was let out.
Yeah.
So you see these girls with the big yellow tag in Oklahoma State or Ohio University, and you just see these girls. You're like, "Hey, you guys are from Ohio? We're at the Comedy Store tonight. Why don't you guys come down tonight?" And we'd
That's
put these girls on a list.
hysterical.
And for a summer it was the fucking greatest because all these girls would come in from out of town,
Yeah.
didn't know anything, come to the Comedy Store, and it was just
Get a slice of Mike Young and
Get
head
a slice
back
of
to
Mike Young, yeah,
Oklahoma.
exactly, yeah.
Hollywood Nights.
Yeah.
I know
Angry
you
Brett
guys
Ernst.
played Home Run Derby. That's like my favorite game.
fucking best. It was the best. And everybody, Sebastian would come dressed to the nines.
I was going to say, there's no way he played.
All Adidas.
Did he play?
He
Yeah.
played, could never hit the ball out of the infield, but he looked like he knew what he was doing. And Brett Ernst.
He was just there to bronze up. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's what he would
Ernst
say.
would hit it and like scream at it, like, "Yeah, get the fuck out of here! Fuck you, ball." We're like, dude. So Mike Young was always like, "Brett has great shoulders and a bad childhood." That was his line about him, which I always loved.
Mike Young's a hell of an athlete.
Mike Young's a great athlete.
Yeah, he was a
Kreischer,
boxer for you. Wait, hold on. What?
I'm telling you right now, Bert Kreischer
that
would
Mickey Mantle gene.
destroy the fucking ball. He
Wow.
was the and
Babe
Renazizi
Ruth
played.
more.
Renazizi could
Renazizi
moonshot
could
it.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mike Young could moonshot it. I could hit it out of the park, but no one came close to what Kreischer did.
Put that weight into it. Steve
Pure
Alboni
athleticism.
style.
I've gone golfing with Kreischer, and he fucking bombs it. He's a great athlete.
What?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that he told that story he told about his daughter, because today when they teach you softballs, that they don't hit the ball to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's an imaginary ball, and so you would throw it. The coach would be like, "Oh, it came to you. Catch it, throw it in." And I guess she was playing center field, and he threw coming out to you,
Yeah.
and she just watched it go over, and she goes, "That one got away from me."
I'm confused. Why don't they don't actually hit on balls
I
anymore?
guess that I don't know.
That's what it's gotten
so
to?
sensitive,
fucking
or so
ridiculous.
you don't want to make a kid look bad, or I can't imagine. I met a guy who's
Wow.
going in the service,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I'm excited about boot camp, but I'm a little upset that they're not allowed to yell at you anymore.
What?
They're not allowed to, like, how the drill sergeant would be like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah."
Yeah.
None of that.
No,
like,
this is a more sensitive
no hitting,
modern
nothing,
That's
nothing.
ridiculous.
Generation Z.
We're gonna have an army of. Why would you do that?
They're
Don't
shooting
talk
at
to me
us.
like that.
The way you're shooting at us feels like my safe space is being invaded, literally.
This is uncomfortable. You guys are
Fucking
hurting
unreal.
my feelings. Yeah, we're fucked. We're fucked. So in case
But
anybody
that shit
wants
can't
to
happen
take
with the
over.
SEALs or like Green Beret. I'm
No.
sure that's still
It has
unscathed.
to be like
right?
even in what you were talking about with like the comics like that
Yeah.
needs that hazing
Yeah.
has to be there.
Yeah, look, because if you can't take it from the comics, you certainly can't take it from the fucking audience.
No,
Because
that's
the
why
audience is gonna
the
be-
comics I hang with
Yeah,
are terrorists,
nonstop.
verbal terrorists,
Yeah.
whatever. Or
Psychological
they even do dumb
terrorists.
shit.
They're
Yeah.
going to fucking break you down and hurt
Yeah.
you, but I don't know. You get this hardened shell from it, and I don't know. Like it's funny because I was with my father and my brother recently, and when you're with comics so much, I think you just have
yeah.
just a I don't know, like a comedic IQ. You start
Yes.
striking, and they were laughing and laughing. They're like, "You never laugh at our stuff." I'm like, guys. Do you know
Yeah.
like who I hang out with on a nightly basis? Like none of this is.
You're
just-
civilians.
Yes.
And I'm hanging out
What
with
you're
the
saying
biggest
is cute.
psychopaths in comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it made me kind of feel bad, but at the same time, it's like you forget what I do for a living. It's like there's
Yeah.
no way I'm gonna laugh at any of this shit. No.
Yeah.
Although I do laugh at my brothers and sisters, they
Yeah.
were kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But they're crazy. Like like that kind of hazing. that's how we grew up.
Oh, yeah.
So we do torment one another and
Yeah.
pick on each other, that kind of shit. Like I remember we were doing it to my nieces and nephews, and one of my nieces got really upset, and
Yeah.
she was like, "They're just so mean," and I was like, "Yeah, no shit.
Yes.
We
Welcome to the
gotta-
family.
Yeah.
They're part of us." She's like, "I don't like it." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that, buddy," but the young ones are. It's just
Yeah.
a different. We don't talk to each other like that. We respect.
I remember
I
when
do.
there was people who would come around here in the mid-aughts that just didn't belong, and it would people would look at me like, all right, get him out of here.
Right.
And then it would just be I would spend a week tormenting them until they eventually flipped out, like that guy who we started calling Teabag for no reason.
Yes.
This dude, his name was Dusty, I think, and
Yeah.
he was super annoying, and I guess he hung out here in the late 90s, and he did the worst John Caparulo impression I've ever heard, where you're just like, I mean,
By the way, no one's asking for that.
No one.
Not
No
one
one.
person.
and
Like,
he would
"Do me
like
a favor?"
try and do it to Caparulo, and Caparulo would just get so uncomfortable, but he just couldn't be mean to him, I guess.
Yeah.
He'd be like, oh, man, I hate that guy. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, he's really annoying. And then he'd be like, I just wish he'd go away. And I'm like, all right. That's all you had to say?
Now you know how we feel.
We'll make it go away, yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. And so then this guy would come up and he'd start doing it. And I'd be like, Teabag, why did you start doing that? And he's like, what'd you call me? I'm like, Teabag. And he's like, why'd you call me Teabag?
We all
like, You're like, yeah.
It's your nickname.
I asked someone who you were, and they said, that's Teabag. And he's like, no one calls me Teabag. I've been told that people have been calling you Teabag for years. And he got all mad and flustered and left. And so this guy, Mark Hatchell, I don't know if you remember Hatchell, but me and Hatchell were
So
hanging out.
cute.
And he's like, man, that Teabag guy is annoying. I'm like, yeah. A couple nights later, he shows up, and I'm like, Teabag, you're back, man. And he's like, I got to talk to you, man. I'm like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, don't call me Teabag. No one calls me Teabag. I go, look, don't shoot the messenger, man.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know.
We're all calling you Teabag.
Your name is Teabag. That's
Yeah.
what
I think
everyone said.
Caparulo started it.
Yeah.
That's weird.
He's
Still running the hard drive.
He's like, he looks like he's about ready to start crying. He's like, no one calls me that. I don't even know what that means. I go, I don't know what it means either. I was just told that's what your name is. That's all this is. I won't call you that. That's just what I was told is what your nickname is
Yeah.
here. He's like, my name's not Teabagger. I go, hey, man, fair enough. Hatchell walks around the corner. He goes, hey, Teabag's here. And he goes, motherfucker, what's wrong with you guys, man? There's something wrong with you guys. Stormed off. Never saw Teabag again. It was just one of those moments you're like,
That's
fucking,
how you get rid of
we handle
teabags.
Teabag.
Yeah.
I got to go upstairs.
Are
soon.
they calling
Yeah,
you? Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that
Well,
cool?
do you have anything to plug? Anything? You have so many great things. I want people to see the documentary.
Amazing Jonathan documentary. It's on
Amazing.
YouTube. Always amazing. It's free. And then I just wrote and directed a feature film called The Opening Act that's going to come out in
Yes.
2020 about a kid's very first time ever on the road. So it takes place over 4 days. The first half of the film is all the romanticism, optimism, and partying of like hanging out with the feature act. And the back half of the film is all the reality, sobriety, and isolation of him warming up to this road-weary veteran.
Wow.
So I think it's the most realistic take of like what it's truly like to not only be a comic but also be on the road, and you're exposed to all three echelons: MC, feature, and headliner in
Yeah.
the film. So it's going to be a lot of fun when that comes out. I'm
Yeah, I hear
excited for it.
people are raving about that. People
I hope
are
so.
talking.
We'll see. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I'm excited. That's
Yeah.
a big deal.
That's cool.
That's a good. You're wearing a lot of hats in that.
Yeah. Writing, directing. It was definitely the most intense thing I've ever done. It's very scary, but it was a lot of fun. And I was when Vince Vaughn, he produced it, when he said, "What do you want to do in this? Do you want to be in it? Do you want to do this?" I said, "No. I'm too old to be the MC and feature. I'm too young to be an established headliner.
Right.
Like
the
aesthetically, you
veteran-
want to
like
see
the-
somebody.
yeah.
So I said, "No, I'm just happy it's being made." He's like, "Well, why don't you direct it? You know the story so
you
It's
well."
your
feel it.
vision, yeah.
I was like, "Okay," and fuck. I mean, it's one thing to write a thing; it's another thing to. It was so overwhelming, but it was such a wonderful experience, and I got to work with so many great folks. So I'm excited for it to come out. I hope
And
people
it's
enjoy it. We'll see.
2020, and they can
Yeah.
find that like on your website, stuff like that when it
Yeah,
comes
I'll
out.
start.
Or
Yeah,
you'll
we
just
just
start-
had a buyer screening a week ago, so we'll find out in the next probably 2 months where it's going to
Oh.
end up. So
I'm
we'll
Nice.
see,
so
yeah.
excited
Congrats,
for you.
man. That's
That's
cool.
Well, thank
great.
you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, by the way. Appreciate
No,
it.
thank
Yeah.
you
It's
for
fun.
doing it.
Great
Greatly
to
appreciate
get to spend
it.
time with you guys.
Yeah, see,
Fun.
we hang out in the basement. That's
Yeah.
Rick and I's thing.
Yeah. I'm going to go up and cry.
Trolls
with
of the
my-
Comedy Store.
Go up and kill it.
We're all going to
Thank
go
you.
up and see what kind of tail Mike Young has pulled in tonight for his
Okay.
75th birthday.
This,
for 70.
he's gonna be the hottest fucking girl too. I
Always.
hate him. God,
Always.
he's so annoying. He's so cute.
And he's
though.
not going to call him back. It's like, what are you doing?
There's another one showing up
Who
in 10
gets
minutes,
that
man.
much? Who gets that much tail in a Corolla?
You know,
Like,
it's all Leonardo DiCaprio spillover.
Of course.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Him and Conley and
We
all those.
assume.
they didn't fit in the
Yeah.
mansion. So they're like,
Yeah.
hey, Mike, these girls are extra. Can you do something with them?
The chicks Toby Maguire didn't murder. He's got to be a murderer, right? He seems too nice.
He looks like a, yeah.
He's got something weird going
He's got
on.
some Aaron Hernandez in him.
A little bit.
Back to Aaron. That's a full circle,
God
guys.
damn it.
That's
Call
called
back.
a
Call
callback, and we're all happy about it.
Well, I
All
love
right.
you guys.
Love you.
Thanks,
You're
man. Thank
you.
amazing. Steve Byrne, guys. Go to his social media. It's just Steve Byrne.
Steve Byrne Live, yeah.
Steve Byrne Live. There you go. Go to his social media. Check out his stuff. Check out The Amazing Jonathan. It really is excellent. And then also the Rick. Are you all right? His movie that's called. What's the name of the movie again?
The opening act.
The Opening Act, right?
Yeah.
So, and then Rick, do you have anything to plug aside from that fucking smile?
I'll be at the Comedy Store tonight if you can. When does this come out?
I'm up in 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
if you want to see me, definitely be here in 5 minutes.
He's
Yeah.
up in 5 minutes. Always go to the Comedy Store website to check out. Go for it. Yes, that's Steve Byrne, guys.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. The Comedy Store website. Come see a show, do whatever. My website is down, Rick. I
that right?
fucked up.
I've never had a website. Should I get one?
Yeah.
Do you think this is the year?
They told me to do a new one. Get rid of this one
Okay.
because it's too tech savvy. But I'm
I
not.
think what I told you was
Hi, Brett.
that you don't need a website. that
He
you
told
can
me I
put
don't need a website.
all of your stuff on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, and
But
you
what
don't
I
even need a
s-
website.
That's
What-
why I never had one because I had a feeling you would tell her that.
I'm going to tell you this. What I said
you
to
were
him
right, Rick.
was
Once again, Rick Ingram.
correct. If I put what I said to him was if I put the dates, then people could just go there and find the link for the tickets. That's the only thing I like about my website.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know. So I'm fucked. I don't have a website right now, but I will put dates up on
you-
my social media.
Would you just, when you get a new website, will you just start posting my shows?
Yeah, I'm going to make you one too.
Thank you.
We'll see what happens. Josh, you have anything to plug? We just wanted to hold that for a minute. Thanks, guys. Oh, Josh is on there.
Hey, don't forget to check out Civilianization Military Podcast for veterans. Got Drew Carey coming on and Brad Williams.
There you go.
And
That's-
Brad
USO touring
Williams.
comedians.
Legendary short person / raper.
No. Jesus, Rick.
I just saw something on Twitter.
It's more of a high five rape.
Oh,
it's,
that's
it's
true.
more of a joke. His was a joke. He made a joke, a bad joke, and
I just saw
people
someone
took it serious.
comment about it, and they were like, "Yeah, he had to apologize." I'm like,
he lied about it. It's so funny because if you watch it, you see him. He's standing in the chair. He's trying to come up with a cool story, bro.
right.
And he says this thing, and then afterwards they're like, "Hey, that's kind of rape."
This is the old this is the old Mencia, old switcheroo.
Something
gag.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but you can if
Great
you
dude.
watch him
I don't care
tell
what
it.
anyone says. He's a great guy.
Which one, Brad or?
Yeah, Brad.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I love Brad, and he just had a baby, so
Yeah.
leave him alone. Leave him the fuck alone. His life
Yeah.
isn't hard enough. Leave him alone.
You know what's funny is after he had the baby,
So loud
then
in here.
the nurses came in, switched the baby out with another baby,
Wait a
A
second.
taller one,
the old switcheroo.
the old
Damn.
switcheroo. It's an Asian It's an Asian
We've
dwarf
been there
baby.
before. Is his baby
Yes.
dwarf?
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Is it Asian?
Yes.
Wow. Best
Well-
of both worlds.
Yeah. So we'll have a TV show next week.
Pretty
See what
cool.
happens.
Yeah. All right.
God bless you, Brad. You guys are great. High five rapes all around. Thank you. That's it, Rick. We're out.
Damn.
My fucking